that I feel like I really need to share with you guys, especially the ones who have been watching all my vlogs about this, who have been supporting me, who have been in my messages, who have been hoping and praying for the best for me and the kids. I have some really, really important news to share with all of you. So yesterday I was just driving to the gym and I got a phone call from one of Josh's family members, and they were like, have you heard the news? And I was like, what are you talking about? And they told me that they had received a phone call from a jail in Texas. They said that they didn't answer the phone call, but then they went onto the county jail's website in Texas and they found out that Josh is in jail. Apparently he's been there for a month now. And it's crazy because I've literally spent the last month like freaked out because I haven't heard anything from him. I haven't heard anything about him. He stopped posting on social media. And like it kind of freaked me out because it was like, okay, where is this guy? Is he coming to Michigan? Is he gonna come get me? Like I was just really freaked out. So to find out that he's been in jail the whole time is like a huge, huge relief. I know it's really sad and messed up when somebody else's downfall is like a blessing for you, but it's just the way it is in this situation. So a lot of you probably are wondering what happened, and I ended up talking to Starcasm. I have told you guys about them before. I will put a link down in my bio on their website of all the stuff that they posted. But basically, I kind of got into contact with them and they helped get the information so that we could find out exactly what happened and why he was in jail. So first of all, they are revoking his parole. In that situation where they revoke your parole, that basically means you're going to prison, because they gave him the parole as an alternative to going to prison for his last crimes. And obviously things didn't work out for him, and now it's been revoked, which means that he's going to prison pretty much for sure. But the other charges that he is being charged with, he is getting charged with 2 charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. You know, I kind of just assumed at first that maybe it was a knife or, you know, just some sort of like random pipe crowbar thing that he might have found. But Starcasm actually confirmed to me that he had a firearm. Do you know how scary it is for a person like him with his mental health issues plus on drugs to have a firearm? I really hope that those women that he did this to are okay and they're not struggling, you know, to leave the house now because some crazy lunatic came and robbed them with a gun. He's just a disgusting person for doing that to me, because I feel like you're taking away somebody's peace and safety, and I think that is extremely wrong of him. But I also am not super surprised because he's just a horrible person. But as far as I know, he didn't hurt the people, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't have the full details. I would really, really love to get the full police report, but I don't have it, unfortunately. The other charge he is being charged with is possession of meth with the intent to deliver it. So that basically means he had a large enough amount of meth on him that he possibly could have had it to be a drug dealer or to sell it. But honestly, I don't think that he was selling it. I don't think that's what was happening. I think that he is just doing meth. Josh has always been a thief since we were younger. I mean, he told me so many crazy stories about things that he stole and things he's done, and that's just like his thing. But yeah, he was probably stealing a whole bunch of stuff, got a bunch of money, bought a bunch of meth, and then got in trouble for it and got caught. He's literally been in Texas for a little over 2 years now. And in that little over 2 years, I would say he has spent about 3 months of that out of jail. He's literally been in jail the entire time. Within a month of being there the first time, he was arrested for assaulting somebody that he was living with because she would not give him money out of the safe that she was keeping to help him stay clean. She wouldn't give him the money, so he strangled her till she passed out. Luckily, a neighbor heard what was going on and called the police, and he was arrested. He spent a year in jail then. And at that point, we thought he would be getting a decent amount of time because it was like domestic violence with strangulation, like, which is should be a pretty serious charge, but unfortunately they didn't take it that seriously. They let him out to like a halfway house type thing, and then he ended up getting out like right away. He basically had the opportunity to go find jobs and work and stay at the halfway house, but he didn't want to be there, so he just ran, you know, he fled and went to do his own thing. Just a couple months later, he was in a hospital. A lot of people think that he just checked in for his mental health, but honestly, personally, I believe that he overdosed and that they realized that he was mentally ill and that he was having issues and maybe it was something he chose to do, like he was trying to kill himself. But unfortunately, he never made it to the psych hospital, which I think would have been a good thing for him. I think they need to figure out what's really wrong with him. But unfortunately, he didn't make it there because he ended up barricading himself in the room and getting into a fight with police officers, and allegedly even tried to take a gun out of one of the police officers' holsters. So then he went down for that. He was in jail for that for a year. We were patiently waiting to find out what they were going to charge him with. In my eyes, I thought he was going to be going to prison for several years because, I mean, that's a pretty serious charge to be charged with, is assaulting a public officer. But once again, he was out within a year, and this time he spent less than a month out of jail before he was arrested. Apparently, the aggravated robberies and the possession of meth happened on 2 separate dates. I'm guessing the aggravated robbery happened on one day, and then a week later, they got around to catching him, and he was caught with a bunch of meth on him. And you know, guys, like I said, there's that video of him driving a car, and he has shrooms in the car. Like, I'm guessing that he was just doing a lot of stealing, a lot of pawning. Could have been a stolen car. Like, I don't know all the details. I would love to know all the details. I think it's interesting to know, but I don't know all the details. I don't know if I'll ever know them all. I know it's so horrible to find hope and peace in somebody's downfall, and you know, it's sad that his life has gone so bad and so tragic. But at the end of the day, I finally have peace of mind again. I finally feel safe in my home again. I mean, obviously I still deal with being scared to be alone and being scared at night, but I don't feel like I'm waiting to get caught by him. I've spent a lot of time feeling I'm waiting for him to catch me when I'm not prepared and to hurt me or take home the kids. It's just been a really scary time for me, and it always is. And it's such a relief to not have to be so stressed out. I mean, I've just been trying my best to hold it all in and to not make everybody so worried about me, and trying to like just put on my game face and be brave, but it's not easy. And I'm just so thankful that this might finally put him away for a decent amount of time, and we'll all be able to breathe for a while, and I can get on with my life and, you know, be happy and feel peaceful and safe. Like, having my peace and safety taken away from me has been a really hard thing to deal with. My biggest hope, and like I keep saying, I feel bad for hoping bad for somebody, but if it comes to the safety of everybody else, I think it's not a bad thing to hope for. But my biggest hope right now is that he does not get out until Lyle is an adult. And the reason I feel that way is because I'm very nervous that he'll get out when he's late into his teenagehood and he will be able to influence him, because I'm not going to be able to control if he talks to Lyle or not by the time he's an older teenager or a young adult. Basically, because we have social media, he'll be driving, he'll be making his own decisions as he gets older, and I would really hate for Josh to be in his life at that time, because I feel like he could be a very negative influence for him. And I know probably a lot of you are wondering, does Lyle know? Lyle did find out that he got out of jail to begin with, which unfortunately I did not want him to know. I had no intentions of telling him, but other people told him. So he did find out about that. We have not told him that he's back in jail. We have not told him that he's possibly going to prison. Like, he just doesn't know. And, you know, he doesn't really talk about him or ask about him anymore, so it's not a super talked about topic. It's not like he's waiting to find out what's happening to him. My plan right now is that if he does ask, well, have you heard anything about my dad? Do you know where he's at now? I'm going to tell him that he's back in jail, and I'm just going to explain everything to him. The older he gets, the more honest I'm trying to be. I don't want to scare him or frighten him, but I also want to be open and honest with him, and I always want to be really real with him. And when we talk about drugs as he gets older, I want him to know, you know, this is what can happen to your life if you do drugs, or if you try drugs. Like, if you get with a group of friends who wants to go steal some stuff from a house, like, don't do it. You don't want to end up like your dad. He is in a horrible place, and his life sucks. I mean, he does not want to end up like that. And that's like my biggest fear for him, is to end up like him. They say that it's like very generational, like it can be passed down in your genetics. So my biggest hope for him is that he never ends up like his dad. I'm doing my best, but it's not easy. You can't control everything, and I definitely do see certain traits in Lyle that remind me of his dad. But hopefully just being raised right and having so much love and having so many people there for him will help him be guided in a different direction than his dad went. I just want to update you guys and let you all know things are looking up for me. I'm feeling really like, I feel so lucky. Like, and like I was talking to Sarcasm yesterday, I was telling them he went to Texas on a whim and he's never moved out of state. I've been dealing with him for over 10 years. He's never just went out of state. He's never just decided to just go away. But he just randomly one day did, and it was surprising and it was shocking, and I thought he'd be right back. And I honestly think that's the only reason I'm still alive today, and I haven't been harmed, and the kids haven't been harmed, and my home hasn't been harmed anymore. And I think that literally, him moving there saved my life. It has been such a blessing because things were really bad, and you know, if he'll do all these things to strangers, imagine what he would do to somebody he knows and hates because they didn't want to be with him anymore. But I really wanted to update you guys. Thank you so much for all the kind messages and for everybody who tells me it gets better, for everybody who supports me, just all of you. I love you all so much, and I'm so glad that maybe I can finally close this chapter for a while and just focus on my life and just not think about all these horrible things anymore. I love you guys. Thank you for watching as always. Bye.